So, now that I've gotten some time into the Battlefield 5 beta, I'd say maybe 20 to 25 hours, I've played through the two available maps and different missions. Today, I'm going to go on the good and bad things that I've discovered in playing it. So first off, we're going to start with the negatives. Some of the things that irk me about the beta so far is, for one, the attrition system. While I understand it and they want everything to be a lot more team and squad focused, I do believe you start out with too little ammo for things, especially the support class. If nothing else, the support class should, I believe, start with maximum ammo. And for others such as assault and whatnot, I think you should be able to swap out a piece of equipment like the little grenade launcher for something that starts with max ammo or like an extra health pack. And along with that, I don't like the fact that you have to go out of your way sort of to pick up ammo or meds from different boxes, and that every time you do, it holds it in front of your face. It takes away from what I'm looking at and kind of just the overall flow. And then to use it, you have to either hold down 3 or 5, depending on how it's set up, which can be a bit of a stretch, especially mid-combat. You kind of have to stop. It just takes away from the flow of the game. Secondly, I'd have to say that vehicles feel very weird and sort of wonky. Planes handle like a bus for the most part. Once you get a feel for it, it can be a little bit better, and you can be pretty good with them. But as a whole, not a fan, and this might just be me or I'm crazy, but it feels that for the smaller planes, flak absolutely tears them apart, but for the bigger ones like the British bombers, it doesn't do anything to them. Going on from there, personally, I know this is contrary to just about everyone else out there, but I don't mind the leveling up system of weapons and how instead of attachments, it's more so upgrades that you do. Because I sort of agree with the mentality behind it of it makes you focus really heavy on your sort of team gameplay. Like for people like me, it makes sense because normally when I play this game, I've got, you know, a full squad of friends, or at least the majority of the squad, and we all know our strengths and weaknesses. So for me personally, I kind of like to be a little bit more up close. So for something like the STG, which I did max upgrade, I'm definitely going to do something that, you know, reduces recoil, but also helps in that close quarters situation. Whereas for other things, I might set it up more for long range, or for LMGs slightly better at, you know, suppressing, stuff like that. So I don't fully mind the way it works, but I believe you should be able to branch across the other trees, or if not, at least roll back and upgrade if you change your mind later, because I feel like it can deter a lot of new players or people that are new to the system because it's completely different, and it makes it so that your choices are more final. If you don't want it, you have to purchase a whole new gun, which is an absolute pain of a process going through in Armory and then the company thing to get it, and there's no way of renaming it, so if you don't remember what it is, it can really be a hassle to deal with. So there is a negative to it, but I don't mind it, as it does make you focus a lot more team-based, and especially squad. If you have someone that's designated for each role and knows how they play, you can set it up accordingly. The things that I'm not a huge fan of is how both for the upgrades and cosmetics, it all costs in-game currency plus XP. Because you have to then pick that choice of, do I want to upgrade my weapon, or do I want to make it look really cool? Where the cosmetic upgrades obviously don't really make a difference in how it performs, except from the sights. The sights are actually a pretty noticeable difference depending on what you're going for, so those are useful, but I don't like the idea that both require this currency to do. Another thing would definitely be that from in-game you can't really configure your loadout too much. Like you can't, if you unlock something new, you can't instantly get it and start messing with it. And you can't add assignments from in-game, so it's like you complete one but you can't add another. You have to back out to the main screen for most of this, which is just counterintuitive to me and just takes away from it. Rather, I just play. But with those aside, let's get more onto the positives now. I definitely see a lot of potential in this. There's a bit of bugs, which can be kind of funny at times, but as a whole, I like the direction it's headed. It does need some tweaks, but the audio, for the most part, is really good. The variation in gunshots from indoors, outdoors, the environment around you can change. The graphics already are absolutely amazing. It's a definite huge step up. How the environment can affect your weapon, you get shot, there's blood on it. Every little thing, I think it's a absolutely beautiful game. It performs really well. And I think it has a lot of potential so long as, you know, DICE listens to feedback from the beta, especially being we're getting a second beta, fixes the little tweaks, works on things here and there. I think this game has a lot of potential and can be very good. I would say some of the maps need a little bit of a rework through the flow and layout of them, but as a whole, I like them a lot for, you know, the only two we have. They both feel good, they look good, not really any complaints. There's a lot of diverse action from long range to close range to mid. The fortifications and being able to build definitely changes the play of how the game performs. And I don't say that as a negative. Personally, I like it because if you're trying to hold an objective, you can quickly build up defenses, and you just have to play it smart because, you know, if it gets overrun, then the defenses are in their favor, so it definitely adds a new element to the game. But all in all, I think this game has a lot of potential.